Hi everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this YouTube channel and this video. I really want to talk about heartbreak today and everything that I'm learning about myself and what it feels like to, feel pain within the heart. I feel like I recently went through, obviously something romantical, and it didn't pan out the way that, I thought it was going to pan out. And I felt a lot of emotions from it, a lot of pain from it. And it's been really interesting because this is the first time that I felt like this since I've begun my healing journey. And so I've been observing myself. I've been feeling all of the feelings that are running through me. And I've learned a lot about my wounds through this whole fiasco. And I think at first I was just really angry. I was really angry that me and this guy had this thing and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted. And then I felt all kinds of feelings and emotions and a lot of blaming. I was blaming him for this, I was blaming him for that. I was, just so angry, right? And then when I started really working at it, I started to realize that I was showing up as a very little version of me that just wanted love, and not to take away from my family. I was very loved growing up. But, I dealt with a lot of other things that I think now as an adult, I'm still seeking, this kind of love from outside of me. And so as I've been doing the work to really understand myself and to really get why I was so heartbroken from this, or I was so affected by this, and the more work I do with this, the more I realize, like, holy shit, this is like just little Ellie showing up at this guy's doorstep. And it's not even about this guy, right? It's just about, he's just showing me this very, very deep wound inside of me of wanting to be loved. And, you have to understand too, like, I come from an older generation and my parents come from an older generation and my parents were immigrants. And so, I think that before I used to blame and point my fingers a lot and be like, why? I used to ask my parents all the time, like, why did you have me? What was the point? Because I just felt so disconnected from being here and living this life on earth. And now there's no blame game. I understand more than ever that everything that has been handed to me is given to me for a very specific reason. And so even through this heartache and all this stuff, I'm just loving on that little version of me that wanted so much love, and wanted to feel so safe and to feel so coddled. And I realize, I think the more I get older and the more people disappoint me or the more people make me feel less than, that the love that I am seeking from outside of myself is the love that I'm actually seeking within myself. We're so conditioned to want love, want love and praise and validation, pats on the back and all of these things. And I think if there's anything that I've learned about that conditioning, it's that people will use it and spit on it and play around with it and break it and throw it around and all of these things. And what I've learned is that don't let anyone fuck with your heart. My mentor right now, she always says, an open heart cannot break, only closed hearts break. And I think that every time I've been affected negatively on an emotional level, I'll close my heart. And I think the beautiful thing that I'm learning in my healing journey is to just embrace all of these uncomfortable feelings that are arising within me. I just spent like the last 2 hours, like, really just in my feelings and feeling it and trying to understand like what's going on with me, and to just invite them in instead of shoving them down, and to really love on me and all those times in my life where I wanted so much for someone to love me and it didn't happen, it didn't work. And I think what I realize that the universe is just constantly showing me, stop looking over there. Stop asking for it over there. Ask and give to yourself. And so I'm in that, but it doesn't mean that it's not easy, but I think that I'm really learning how to maneuver this life and this existence, and to really let things work for me instead of against me. And time again, I learn that it always comes back to self. This whole journey just comes back to self. Self-love. How much you value yourself. Because someone who loves themselves so much, right? And I've seen this. I've witnessed this in people. A person that loves themselves so much will always be okay without anybody else. Even if they're with the greatest love of their life, they know that if that went away, they'd be okay. Because they have them. You have you. And I'm very drawn to that. I'm very drawn to that. Because I think I've spent most of my life wanting somebody to swoop me up, to save me. And now I'm on the journey of saving myself. Now I'm on the journey of giving myself exactly the love that I deserve. And it's actually really empowering and beautiful to think that, yeah, Ellie, the love that you're seeking, you're not going to get it outside of you. It's within you. So why don't we dive into that pond? And there's a strength in that. And there's a moment of relief in that. Because then you realize that nobody can ever take that away from you, because that's yours. That's yours. Speak on it. I feel like I'm in church. If you're out there and you're going through heartbreak, or you're wanting your work or your friends or your colleagues or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your best friend, whatever it may be, to validate you and to give you what you want, just know that they can never fill your cup. Only you can fill your cup. There's so much power in radical self-love, in putting yourself first, in honoring yourself, in knowing the moment that you feel like someone's taking from you, you can back up and then give back to yourself. It's about self. The more and more I learn, the more I grow, the more I experience. It's about self. And I'm here to love the shit out of myself. Woof! I sure am. Let me know if this resonated with you in the comment section below. Listen to my podcast. I have a lot of great guests on it. Thank you so much for listening and being here with me. We're getting through this. One emotion at a time. One moment at a time. Come back to the present. Come back to the breath. I love you. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.